having moments in my life where I catch myself starting to sound like my parents and saying things that they have told me in the past. And these times are increasing as I go older, which is a scary thought. And I'm having one of these moments with this whole Yeezy inspired distress look that I'm seeing a lot of. And I'm saying to myself, why am I spending $2,000 to buy something that has a bunch of holes in it? Which is exactly what my parents told me when I would spend more money on ripped distressed jeans. Mom, you just don't get it, okay? And don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of the trend. I like it, I think it's edgy, I think it's cool. I'm at the point in my life where I don't want to spend money if I don't have to. I am cheap and I am proud. So when I see a lot of these sweaters going around and I keep thinking, why am I going to spend my money on that when I know I can just do it myself? So welcome to Fake It and Make It, where I find expensive trends and I try to recreate them myself. Let's get started.
Right, so the first thing you're going to need is an old sweater. I suggest using something that's a little bit oversized, a pair of scissors, preferably fabric scissors, but whatever you have is fine. And then lastly, just a razor, and that's pretty much it. So I knew that I wanted to add in a cold shoulder to my sweater, so I just kind of threw it on, marked where I wanted the cutouts to be, and here I am just going ahead and cutting them out. You can do just one shoulder if you want. That's super on trend right now, but I decided to do both shoulders, so I'm just making sure that it is even on both sides and just cutting it out in that way. The next thing that I'm going to do is just rough up the edges a bit. So I'm just taking my scissors and making small snips around the collar, and then I'm just going to be using my fingers to kind of pull on the threads for a little bit more destruction. So when you're picking the sweater for this project, I would suggest to look at the contents of your garment and to make sure that it is low on spandex or elastane. And basically why that is because it doesn't destroy as easily. So this bottom part, it's kind of ribbed. I don't know if you can tell here, but it is different material. And it has a lot more elastane in it. So I was finding that when I was trying to rip it up, it wasn't looking as it wasn't giving me the effect that I wanted it to. So just keep that in mind when you're finding a sweater. And then I'm moving on to both of the sleeves, and also don't forget about the back. Add some destruction on there as well. So now I'm just going to make holes to the rest of the sweater, and I would suggest that you focus the majority of your holes to one area. So in my example, I have that graphic on top as well as the cold shoulders. So in order to keep some of the balances, I focus the majority of my holes to the bottom, and then just adding the odd one here and there to the top portion. And I just find that makes it more aesthetically pleasing. But with a project like this, there are no real rules to anything. I mean, do whatever you want with it, however you want. Alright, so next thing, take your trusty little razor and just graze over some of the holes that you just finished making, and that just makes the edges look a little bit more rough and more distressed and kind of gives it that cool look that you're going for. And I found that I kind of like to use both the razor and just using my hands to kind of pull at the threads, and that's just kind of the method that I chose to go for, and it ended up working pretty well for me. And again, don't forget about the back, so I added some extra holes onto there, and again, just going over it with my razor afterwards. And so that's pretty much all that I did with this sweater, and I would just constantly be, taking it, trying it on, seeing how I like the look of it on my body before I went back in to do any more holes. So I definitely recommend that, just because you can always add in more holes, but you can't really take away if you've done something that you don't really like and aren't happy with. So I tried it on and I noticed that I wanted a lot more fraying on the edges, so that's just what I did. I went back in and I just started to snip away with my scissors and pull apart the threads with my hands. and until I became really happy with it. And if you guys are wondering why I'm destroying an Abercrombie sweater, basically this was actually given to me by my mom, and it's not really my style, not really something I go for ever. So it was just in my closet, not really doing anything. So at least now I get to kind of make some use out of it and enjoy it. So as you can see, this is the final product, and I don't know, I'm kind of really digging it. Like, I really like the cold shoulder that I added to it. I like how it feels. It's super comfortable. It's still very edgy. It's just like the perfect thing to throw on when it's like Sunday and you just want to do your errands yet still look really cool.
So that's everything that I have for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, let me know by giving me a big thumbs up. If you see any other trends that you want me to try out and recreate, let me know in the comments below, and I will definitely give it a shot. I love doing DIYs. This is one of my favorite things to do and one of the favorite things to research on YouTube. So let me know and subscribe if you're not already, and I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. See ya.